Ah, dearly departed LucasArts. Back in the 90s, it was the company that could do no wrong, at least until the Phantom Menace came along. Why, you could walk into their warehouse and throw a rock and be absolutely sure of hitting solid gold. Okay, except for that one. And that one, and the less said about that one, look, let's not get bogged down in facts. What matters is the LucasArts name on a game was a real mark of quality, with even their lesser titles usually managing to be at least interesting. Not all of them got a lot of attention though, and they don't come much more obscure than this one, Mortimer and the Riddles of the Medallion, a rare dive for the company into, yes, edutainment. Now this was a much bigger thing in the 90s than it is now, with the likes of Carmen Sandiego becoming household names in at least the United States, and every other cartoon piously going on about the need to save the environment and the animals and all manner of other stuff, notably not revolving around cool battles with laser guns and stuff. Now, I'm not going to say they were all terrible, I mean, maybe 4% were barely crap at all, but the others were usually cheaply made, insincere, and their educational messages either painfully shallow or finger-waggingly annoying. Kids, were you thinking of spilling a tanker of oil on a coral reef? Well, don't do that. P.S. Recycle your newspaper. Now inevitably this worked its way into games. Sonic the Hedgehog, for instance, had a fairly underplayed case of it, with your quest being to rescue animals turned into robots by the evil Dr. Eggman or Robotnik or whatever his name is this week. After him though came the likes of Awesome Possum, which took this exact same idea and ran with it, and figuring that what kids really wanted, or to be more accurate, what their parents would really want, is for them to have to keep stopping their rubbish platform game to answer environmental trivia questions. In case you're wondering, yes, this was a terrible game. There's literally only one saving grace in it, that its full name is Awesome Possum Kicks Dr. Machino's Butt, and the ending takes that incredibly literally.
Awesome Possum kicks Dr. Machino's butt. I'm awesome!
And then a mountain is defaced in his honour. Yeah, like I said, there's a certain hypocrisy to many of these things. Still, the games and shows did at least bring us a few fun things, especially when they tried to teach or at least appeal to us with music. I mean, how could we ever forget, say, the I Am Mean intro?
Oh look, what clever children! See them study, watch them learn. How I hate those goody-goodies, how they make my stomach turn. I got a little secret that'll really make them cry. It's a nasty kind of magic from a special kind of guy.
Here we go!
Few edutainment games have devoted themselves quite so much to shoving musical earworms into your brain though, a bit like that scene from The Wrath of Khan now I come to think about it, like Mortimer. We'll get to that in a couple of minutes, but let me just say now, I'm so sorry. I mean, I'll put a link after the video to something that will hopefully at least help flush them away, but I really can't make any promises. Don't get me wrong though, I'm certainly not slamming Mortimer here. It's actually a surprisingly interesting game, using the Rebel Assault engine to let you fly a flying snail, now I think about it, any other kind would be kind of pointless, around the world on a quest to save animals from this guy, Lodius. Officially they've been turned to stone, though since you're flying over a low-res FMV, in practice they all kind of look like these animal biscuit things. Now that would be a challenging quest for any child. Quick! You need to save the animals! Okay, you need to save the rest of the animals! Could you at least try to save some of the animals? Oh, forget it. We get two potential heroes for this game, Sid and Sally. They're just playing in the garden when Sid's dog is turned into stone, and it turns out they never noticed that they live next to a genius professor and his wisecracking snail companion. Now I'll admit, I'm not the best at getting to know the neighbours myself, but I gotta say, I think I'd have noticed this. The good Professor Laszlo, because he got kicked off the rock station, soon explains what's going on. The evil Lodius has stolen a magic medallion, which gave him roughly 5 seconds of ultimate power before deciding no, and breaking itself into 7 pieces. Only Sid and Sally can stop him by organising an internet petition to raise awareness until the government orders a drone strike on his evil castle. Or, recover the pieces, whatever. One of the funniest things about this, though, is that only one of the kids actually gets to go on the quest, and you choose which one before even loading the game. Still, we get Professor Laszlo here dangling the chance to go on a life-changing, one-of-a-kind adventure to save the world, only to tell one of them, "No! You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!" Achievement unlocked. Shattered a young child's dreams. The chosen kid, meanwhile, gets to saddle up in Mortimer's cyber shell, trying not to wonder why Professor Laszlo built this exactly and then fitted slime-shooting cannons to it, at least prior to the whole Lodius problem. And I know he's a mad scientist, or at least, it's inferred, and water filtration specialists alike don't generally create giant talking snails and then think, you know what this needs? Guns. But hey, whatever. It's edutainment, it's time to save the world. Give us an awesome catchphrase, guys.
Fly the slimy skies, Mortimer and the riddles of the Medallion.
That's the best you've got? Okay. So most of the game plays out like this. You ride through an FMV shooting at the transformed animals to turn them back to normal, assuming they were originally purple, while trying to avoid both enemies and bits of scenery that get in your way. Now you can't control Mortimer as such, but you can sort of nudge him, push him in various directions away from rocks and cacti and things like that. Now the result's actually pretty much okay. The music is punchy, there's lots of fun back and forth banter, occasional alternate paths through the level, and lots of stuff happening. Rocks falling, sweeps through canyons, snowballs and the ice levels. It's actually got a lot of personality. And honestly, Mortimer does what it does surprisingly well. Despite the focus, there's no man is evil stuff or finger wagging. The villain isn't even representing pollution or greed or anything like that. He's just a straight-up douchebag who spends most of his time talking to his mirror and visibly hating himself. He's a bit like a gremlin golem, really.
I'm shaken.
Every animal that you save gives you magic glowstones, which are needed at the end of the level, and each level takes you somewhere impressively different. Now, there's no challenge to this, as you'd expect, though some of the enemies can be surprisingly nasty. The whole rescue the animals thing mixed with a magical nemesis means you can't really be up against animals or mechs or anything like that, so mostly Lodius dispatches salt shakers. Okay. At the end of each level, you take your glowstones and you face off against a guardian. And don't say I didn't warn you, because the earworms begin now.
Silence, you silly snail.
Hear the call of the savannah, hoots, house girls, quick killers, humongous herds, and sneaky scavengers. Beware, be wise, something might bite your rear end. Answer this riddle to move on, my friend.
The newborn whimpers to be fed while mother steers the herd ahead.
Oh, it might not sound like much now, but you wait. That song will keep coming to you in the early hours of the morning for the rest of your life. You'll be in the shower when suddenly you start humming, and after a few minutes of, wait, what is that? Suddenly realise exactly what you heard and where you heard it, and be all, oh, if only I'd pressed mute. As I said, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyway, this is obviously the edu part of your tainment. A representative from each of the animals you've rescued agrees to a quick interview, and then you have to use what they tell you to solve the Guardian's riddle. As with much of Mortimer, this is actually quite well done. They've all got lots of personality and animation, and even a little video thrown in for good measure. They can, however, be just a little, odd.
Hello there, I'm an oxpecker, also known as a tick bird. Gee, how was I ever lucky enough to get two such attractive names? I'm about 7 or 8 inches long, and I'm basically a vampire.
As the biggest member of the dolphin family, I'm about 25 feet long, weigh about 2 tons, and I have 50 pearly white teeth in my big, hungry mouth. Aren't I a cutie?
I am a Gila monster. I am about 2 feet long, and one of only 2 kinds of poisonous lizards in the whole world. That's quite an honor.
There's a pretty dark humour to some of them too, especially when they're talking about their food and hunting. This opossum especially seems to be on the edge of a nervous breakdown.
Who wants to eat a dead opossum?
And let's not even get started on this guardian with a strange interest in cannibalism.
You gotta be hardy, just like the Donner Party. Got a riddle for you, see what you can do.
Now, at least in part, I'm putting this down to the credited screenwriter being Steve Purcell, the creator of Sam and Max. But again, I'm not complaining here. One of the biggest problems of edutainment software is being drier than a book of Oscar Wilde quotes in the desert. Mortimer doesn't teach much, but it does it with humour, and the result is that kids were probably going to remember this better than most of the others. At least if they get all the references.
I'm quite delighted to meet you. I am the walrus. Coo-coo-coo-choo. A little walrus humour there.
Oh, and speaking of references...
Well, howdy. I'm a western rattlesnake. I'm a poisonous snake.
A poisonous snake!
So having heard all of the animal stories, you pick the one that matches the riddle. Each attempt costs glowstones, though even losing nets you another song rather than just a simple note.
Tough luck, I'm really sorry, no way, that's not the answer, my friend, you better try again.
Getting it right, of course, gets you a song, your medallion piece, and passage to the next location. And I know that you desperately want to hear the song, so I'll just move away from the microphone for a couple of minutes and let the Guardians do their thing.
Answer the riddle.
You got it, you got it, you got it, yeah. You got the right answer. You got it, you got it, you got it, yeah. A piece of the medallion, yeah. You made it through the savannah, the timberland is near. Up where the air's on the diet, so thin and oh so clear. The land is poor, but the water is rich, and everything is cold. It can be dark all day and light all night in the frigid air like it holds. You need fur or feathers or lots of fat. Yo, who turned down the habitat thermostat? You see, ice is nice, but you better think twice. Just answer the riddle, man, that's my advice. Some folks think it's just a hot, dry oven out there. Sunburned, poisonous snakes and sand in your underwear. But if you stay a while, you'll see the good, bad, and ugly, alright. Reptiles rule the day, mammals prowl the night. To those who live here, the water is gold. Through bones and footprints, their tales are told. The sun may fry you like fat on a griddle. Answer which critter is in my riddle.
Giant plates crashed and mountains were born. Cut back glaciers, the valleys were formed. Sculpted by rivers that run to the sea. Frosted with snow and bearded with trees. Just like the Donner Party, got a riddle for you, see what you can
do. So this is all quite pleasant, isn't it? A nice, light-hearted little game where you learn about animals and occasionally shoot them in the face. It doesn't take too long to get the medallion pieces from the various Guardians, and then of course the only thing to do is go stomp Lodius himself. How hard can that be? Yeah, about that.
You've made it through the desert with thorns all around. Now it's getting dark, and the sun is going down. It's time to meet Melodious, lets you choose to flee. He's the king of cruel and the prince of ugly.
The final level of Mortimer is one of the most painful difficulty spikes that I've ever seen in a game. Here, try this. Find something large and pointy, stick it all the way up your anus, sit down heavily on a rock. That is Lodius' castle, and you think I'm exaggerating for comic effect? Oh, no. Well, a bit, but only a bit. Let me show you. Because as you arrive, Mortimer gets kidnapped and you end up alone with a jetpack and a portable slime gun, and then, Jesus Christ, what the hell is going on here? I mean, look at this! We've literally just gone from wacky action in the savannah to goddamn Dark Souls! The castle is just sadistic and in every possible way. I mean, it would be okay if you had full flight control, but you don't. All you can do is nudge around the screen, and it's rarely clear which way to go and whether you're avoiding obstacles or if the camera's suddenly going to swing in a different direction. Now what's that, I hear you think? At least it's a fairly simple obstacle course? Think again. Try following this one. Or for that matter, this one, where you can't even see past the video compression. What makes it worse is there's no mercy and vulnerability. Just grinding against something can obliterate your health bar in milliseconds. And did I mention that you have to not only navigate by pulling the cursor around the screen, but also shoot the enemies? Oh, but we're not done yet. Because not only do you have to survive these obstacle courses, you have to solve a riddle. At the end of each section is a choice of two animals. You pick one, and if you get it right, then you continue. Get it wrong though, and you're thrown back to do the last obstacle course again. And which animal do you choose? Well, obviously you follow a pattern, and in this case it's fairly straightforward, animals that fly. But here's the thing, the game doesn't actually tell you the pattern until you're done, so it could be pretty much anything from carnivores to animals that dive to animals that like to be called Julian. You have to work it out through painful trial and repeated error. Now you do at least have unlimited lives to get through this, yes, but every few times you die, the puzzle resets. Which means that you have to survive around 6 of these obstacle courses, minimum, just for a shot at finishing. Now I'm not holding myself up as the greatest gamer in the world or anything, but I almost broke a mouse getting through this. Edutainment should not be this hard. What were they thinking? Ugh! Survive the gauntlet though, and you finally reach the medallion and the last riddle. And of course, more singing. Prepare yourself for some fairly painful rhyming in this bit, okay? I'm not kidding, your brain will melt.
Are you enjoying this armpit? Damn drippy and dark. Lodius land ain't no amusement park.
Trapped inside this prison, waiting for release. I see you have the other 6, so I'm your final piece. Only you can hear my riddle. Please guess carefully. If your answer is correct, you'll set me and the animals free.
Lodius had your slimy friend, I know. Stick around, we'll be serving escargot. The medallion could ruin all the work we've done. Right, but you'll be calling 911.
Your right answer, it will be the key.
I hope roasted snail is your cup of tea.
Please think carefully.
You brain amputee.
Listen to me.
You better bleed.
Set us free.
You're finished. I hope cooked snail give you indigestion, 'cause you'll never answer this final question.
My handsome ears are not a myth. All the better to hear you win. I set up traps to catch my prey. Just wait till you see my catch of the day.
Oh, thank God that's over. Okay, let's see. One more riddle. My handsome ears are not a myth? Moose, snake, monkey. I have no idea. Do monkeys set traps? Snakes don't have ears, but I mean, you know, they hunt, so, let's say,
No way! You better try again.
I have to do the whole castle again? You know what? F the animals. I'm joining Lodius. We'll burn the rainforest, pour napalm on the Lake District, plant triffids in every flowerbed. The world must burn. Yeah, as one final screw you, it's a trick question. The answer isn't one of those handy panels there, it's Lodius himself. Now that's just cheap. I mean, in fairness, in a regular adventure that would actually be quite clever, but an edutainment game for kids? You arseholes! The Lodius Dude, Fondude. Oh, for shame, game. Oh, shit, now I'm doing it. I think the rhyming started to get infectious. Let's see this end, friend.
You were always Laszlo's favorite apprentice. The snail wonder. The day I chopped away at Laszlo's giant oak tree and watched it fall, crushing your fragile shell, I never dreamed that he could create such an impressive replacement. I had assumed you'd just dry up and blow away like a dead leaf.
You made that old tree fall on me? Well, I guess you're even more of a deranged bully than I ever gave you credit for, Lodius.
Shh. Why, thank you. Who would have guessed I'd be looking into your befuddled green face once again?
It must be a relief after looking in the mirror.
He's distracting you from more important stuff. The kid is in here, you know. What? Where? Behind the curtain, you twit. I knew that.
Oops! Don't give up the medallion, Sid! Never give it up!
This is your last chance, child. Will you give me my medallion? Or will I remove it from a cold stone statue that was once a little boy?
No way, monster boy! No!
I knew there was some reason you shouldn't hand over the medallion. I guess that was it.
You were right. You're pretty smart for a giant snail.
Woo! Hey, let's get the heck out of here before I slip and get turned into enough buttery escargot to feed the entire Western Hemisphere. By the way, Sid, thanks for looking out for me.
And that's Mortimer. I mean, it's not hard to see why it didn't get too much attention. Its edgy-side is fairly shallow, and the tainment only really holds out for one or two plays. For all that, though, I kinda like it. The songs are catchy, the idea is clever, and it's a rare edutainment game that respects its audience and is actually something that kids would want to play. Certainly, I can imagine far more people remembering this one fondly than, say, The Wild World of Madison Jacks, aka a strong contender for the most boring thing ever to waste 5 CDs.
Glad you could join us, Dr. Andrews. We've assembled a collection of archaeological puzzles that we're sure you'll find fascinating. We've made all the arrangements, and you can leave whenever you're ready. But before you go, Mr. Jacks would like a few words with you.
Glad to have you with us, Andrews. I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about how you can help the GSS. While you're out there, we need you to gather any information you can about a woman named Amanda de Valera. You'll no doubt cross paths with her. She's a notorious thief who steals artifacts from archaeological sites and sells them for profit on the black market. Other than that, we don't know much about her.
I do, however, have my fears for this world, saved or otherwise. Oh, it might seem to end happily with the crew going for cake, but could a deeper seed of darkness have been planted here? I'm thinking, of course, of Sally, taking a bite of cake from behind a fixed smile as she watches Sid praised for saving the world. That could have been me, she thinks, eyes drifting to the magic medallion sitting so carelessly discarded. What could she do with it, she thinks? Well, she could do many, many things. But mostly, she could make them all pay.
Fly the slimy skies, Mortimer and the riddles of the Medallion. Medallion, fly the slimy skies, Mortimer and the riddles of the Medallion. To save the animals, you need Mortimer, he's your slimy hot rod. Take a piece of the medallion of your mud-tucking super gastropod.
Medallion, broken 7, 5 pieces landed in 5 different lands. Lodius has 1 piece, but they are all beyond his command. If you're smart, you will reach his evil castle in the sky. You've got just 1 day
medallion.